Her elevated heart rate and her elevated blood pressure caused the doctors to go on a red herring fishing expedition. And not a single one of them realized what the real underlying problem was that led to her death almost 2 days later. You want to know what this is about? This is fascinating. Come join me for a moment as I share with you an amazing story about what happened to this poor woman who went in for an elective hernia repair and wound up dying, all because a number of doctors violated the basic standards of medical care. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. Let me share with you what happened when this woman went to a doctor who told her, yes, I do these surgeries all the time. This was an elective hernia repair. She went to a super specialist, a GYN oncologist, believing that since she had had cancer in the past and now had a surgical hernia, that she needed to go back to a GYN oncologist, a cancer doctor who treats GYN problems. The reality was, no, she should have been sent out to a surgeon who does this all the time. Well, this GYN oncologist convinced the patient to have this surgery. During the course of surgery, fixing the hernia, the doctor accidentally made a hole in the bowel. Okay, that can happen. Well, instead of calling in a surgeon who deals with bowel injuries, this guy, this cowboy, turns around and says, you know what, I can fix it. I'm a super specialist surgeon. I know how to do this. We've done it when I trained, not a problem. So he has his fellows, he has his residents with him. He goes ahead and starts fixing this hole in the bowel. And in order to fix this, here's what they do. You now have the bowel, you have a hole in the bowel. He has to cut out that hole. And now he's got two ends of the bowel that he's got to put together. That's called an end-to-end anastomosis. And now they sew it up tight. You've got to make it watertight. Well, everything went fine. There were no other complications during the procedure. Patient gets sent to recovery. But guess what? In the recovery room, her blood pressure is going through the roof. Her heart rate is elevated. And now the doctors caring for her in the recovery room can't figure out why this is happening. The doctor tells them, listen, everything went fine. There were no real complications in the surgery. There was no significant blood loss. We don't know why she's having these problems. And the doctors there said, you know what? We think maybe this is cardiac. We're going to send her off to another nearby hospital where they have better facilities to monitor her cardiac issues. So they ship her off to another hospital nearby. And about a day later, not even a day later, she develops what's called an acute abdomen, where now her belly is tense. She looks literally like she's dying. She's pale, she's ghostly white. And now they call in a surgeon to evaluate, and he feels and takes a look at her belly and says, you know what? I got to take her back to surgery. I think something significant is going on. Maybe, just maybe, somebody in the last surgery perforated her bowel, and now there's an issue. And you know what they found? Contents of her bowel were leaking out into her abdomen. You know what else they found? That anastomosis, that sewing up of the bowel to connect the two together to make a watertight seal, it was totally open. It had come undone within 24 hours of the surgery being done. How does that happen? Unless the doctor failed to do it properly. There's no other reason about why this thing opened up within 24 hours. There was no other explanation other than the doctor violated the basic standards of medical care. And the doctor failed to call in a bowel surgeon to fix the problem initially. But he, being the cowboy, decided, hey, I can fix it, no problem. I know how to do this. We did this in training. We did this in my fellowship. I've done this in practice. Well, that caused them to go on a fishing expedition, trying to evaluate why she's having elevated heart rate, why she's having elevated blood pressure. Nobody could figure it out until finally there was a surgeon who recognized, yeah, you got a problem. It's the bowel. If your bowel injury had been taken care of properly, she'd be alive today. That's what our experts said. So why do I share this quick story with you? I share it with you just to give you a sense of what went on in this one woman's case who went in for an elective hernia repair and unfortunately died as a result of doctors' improper medical care and treatment. You know, I understand you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your questions. You know, this is something I do every single day and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.